Hey kids, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3 as the United Kingdom. Last episode we had some pretty intense naval fighting in the Pacific, and we've started to kind of intervene and kick the Japanese out of the Dutch East Indies. Meanwhile, it sort of looks like America's almost maybe succeeding at invading the Japanese home islands, which I guess is just one less thing for us to do. And I guess we might as well give America part of the spoils of war, considering all the juicy Lend-lease they've been giving us. We've got a lot of IC from Lend-lease. What is it? Uh, 85. That's pretty good. And thankfully, because this episode is going to be very exciting. We are going to invade France, but I do not want to invade France until I have at least one full army. I want to get as far as I can as quickly as possible. And what we're missing is we're just missing that one motorized division to fill out that first army, and then I have a whole other army in the queue. I've got carrier techs coming out, and I may put those in the queue, but I'm going to put them in the bottom of the queue because I don't think we're going to need them against Japan realistically. If I build them, it'll be more of a kind of vanity thing, and I don't know, it probably is not a good idea to build another round of carriers, to be honest, given how poorly Japan has performed in this campaign. I wouldn't expect them to do quite as well. So let's start to organize. Let's start to organize this army here. I just want to see here. We've got. What I need is. I need to attach this to Les Mallory, skill 4. That's not so bad. I'm gonna get all of our best leaders and attach them to Second Army. I guess actually Army Group France, really. Army Group France for that. We'll see. Anyway, and that means I've actually got to... Okay, let's cancel those orders. A little bit worried about port strikes. So, let's take in... where is it? Home Defense Command has these two. I think at this point... that's not good, is it? No, I can't use that one, unfortunately. Let's go individual provinces. So the North Sea Command will cover off these areas, and we'll take these ports as well. Make sure we just don't... make sure none of our... might as well do that as well. Make sure none of our Air Force gets bombed. This will become a bit less of an issue, and it's going to be very important for me to remember to move forward some of these multi-role squadrons and have them covering off areas in on the continent rather than just patrolling kind of passively patrolling for naval bombing. That's good, and let's take the Western Approaches Command. Just need to redo their orders here. You can do that one. Oh, I think I already did that. Oh, whatever. It's okay if they overlap a bit. Bournemouth or Newport? No, Bournemouth. Okay. Because I have Navy on... Oh god, I've got the wrong order here. Because I have Navy on auto AI control, I really just I have to have air patrols on all naval bases that they could be using. So yeah, that's the thing. I think we'll do a pretty wide net here. There we go. Right, so that's home defense set up. I'm going to need that interceptor squadron as soon as we land, and I think we're going to make a battle plan before I do leaders. I'll do leaders on screen. You know, this is a pretty major event here, and ooh, what's going on there? He is in rough shape. Patrol's a bit too wide, really, but probably winning a lot of battles, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, because as soon as we land here, that Germany's going to concentrate a lot of air power. So there's a few things we can do. Right now there's just naval bombers. Or no, that's interesting, paratroopers. So a few things we can do. We can kind of plan what air bases we want to use. For the time being, we can be based in England, and that's the range of our interceptor squadron there, I think. Yeah. So that's not great, but it'd be good if we didn't destroy air bases that we're planning on using, because it'll just come out of our IC once we take them, and we're gonna move pretty quickly, I think. So there's that. I'll make a bit of a battle plan. I just want to attach these. This is kind of a mess. I could have done this off screen, but whatever. Mediterranean Theater, yes. Mediterranean Theater. Just attaching these cavalry are completely superfluous, to be honest. I probably shouldn't have even bothered to build them, but I do find that that they end up being useful. Let's just name this guy Fetbury. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fetbury Garrison. Okay. Nope, we're not going to move here at all. I'll try my best to monitor this situation here. The Gurkhas need to go back to... The Gurkhas need to go to... I'm going to attach Gurkha Corps to the Army Group France. And they have to be transported... Actually... Interesting. What am I going to do about this? I think I'm going to have to delete this core and rebuild it, because I just don't have the transports free. Air Transport Command can be attached. It's still attached to Army Group Italy. That's hilarious. I'll attach it to Army Group France, and I want them to go here. Do the reserve order. Okay, and I also need to... I've named a couple things here. Where is it? Or no, it's up here. Okay, this battle fleet is on. Okay, he's on an intercept order to defend Norway. That's good. It'd be nice to have a battle fleet that is available. So the Pacific Landing Craft Squadron, the smaller of the two, with only 5, will stay in the Pacific, and that will be kind of an emergency force to help us grab anything, you know, kind of like this here. And God, we haven't even used this unit once in the entire game. That's not surprising. What are these guys doing? Attach you to the Mediterranean Fleet. For some reason, I was doing something else with these ASW squadrons, and well, they can just be in the Mediterranean Fleet now. I think I had some plan for them. Atlantic Landing Craft Squadron and the Transport Fleet. That's the second Transport Fleet, so I can take... Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's take you and go and pick up that Gurkha, and we'll take the second Transport Fleet home. I think we're going to take all of the Transport Fleets, actually, back to the home Isles at this point, the British Isles, and... Yeah, I think that's good. Anything else in here? I don't think so. Alright, let's take a quick look at the order of battle, and then I'll do the battle plan. Why is the 3rd Carrier Squadron attached there? It's attached to the Far East Theater, thank you. Army Group France. We'll attach the Landing Craft Squadron to 2nd Army. No, Army Group France. Kind of get everything we need. And we'll attach the transports as well afterwards. Right, so we definitely need... I think what we're going to do, we're going to take our top leader and put him in charge of the Atlantic Theater. I'm not too worried about stacking penalty, but at this point the traits will be good. Well, I'm not going to take Slim. Slim can stay with the Royal Marine Corps. That's fine. So who do we want? That's the question. I think we're going to take Auchinleck off of Army Group Italy. And we'll just do this. No leader. Atlantic Theater can be commanded by Auchinleck. And then we need to replace this one. And it can be replaced by this guy. Alright. Next, Army Group France. We need another high skill guy. I'm liking Montgomery. I think Montgomery will come off of the Armored Corps in Italy, and he's going to go straight to Field Marshal. and we'll put him in charge of the Army Group France. Now we need a general for the... Okay, let's replace Armored Corps first. Who have I got that's reasonably decent who's at the division level? Oh, Gort is in Indochina. Take him. Just put any random leader at this point. Yep. And... Fortress Buster. Not ideal for an armored corps, to be honest. Let's switch those. I don't use armor against forts in general. I mean, I will if I have to, but infantry is what you should use against forts. It's kind of pointless to use armor. You're just going to have penalties. Alright, let's find a good general. Maybe... Okay, so Allenbrook is in... We can take Alexander off the Army of India. Where is the Army of India? Here, right? Okay, yeah. Alexander can come off the Army of India. Yeah, just go to new leader. Find another one. It does get a bit tricky to change these things. Like, it's a bit delicate because you don't want to... You don't want to de-org important units. Yeah, this is going to be good leadership. We are missing some corps leaders as well, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Let's find someone for the Army of India, preferably a major general with. Let's put this guy. He's level 4 defensive, and the Army of India is not going anywhere anytime soon. Ironside, I think Ironside starts as a general. And we've put him down to the division level, which is pretty hilarious, but that's how it is. And that's for Army of India, which is down here. Okay. Now, all we need is corps leaders, and then I'll just quickly check and make sure that none of the divisions have... None of the divisions have, like, Old Guard or anything really bad. What I want is guys with, like, lease here. Lease is perfect. Where is this? Yeah. I can put him in charge of maybe an armored corps. There we go. I like, for corps leaders, I like leaders with multiple traits. Oh, this is First Army. Still, I'll take it. Yeah, multiple traits are good because you're sharing those traits. Even if you're getting a reduced bonus, you're sharing those traits among a lot of units, like five divisions. Same goes for armies and to a lesser degree army groups and theater field marshals. Right. Okay, we have one more armored corps there. What's the... Yeah, these have a pretty high combined armed as well, so Battle Master is a good trait in general. We got some very bad, we got some real losers here. Okay, we need 1, 2, and 3 more corps leaders. Let's just unassign these ones. Got two very good armored corps leaders, so that's a good start. And I can take this guy. We're gonna have some pretty low-level division leaders, which is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, 2 more. We have an engineer, battle master. Yeah, we'll take Hobart off of the Marines. That's fine. And I like Wingate. Wingate was actually historically the guy who led the Gurkhas. Very interesting, very strange fellow. The Gurkhas deployment in the Burma campaign. This will be our history minute of this episode. The Gurkhas campaign in Gurkhas operations in the Burma campaign, which was more like kind of here, really. That they weren't fighting here. They were fighting back here because the Japanese controlled all of this. And it was not very successful. It was not very well coordinated. It was not coordinated because both the British and the Americans really failed to give them the resources they needed to. Where'd Hobart go? Fuck. The resources they needed to actually, you know, supply in the jungle and not basically kind of starve to death, and that unfortunately was really what happened. Is they were very badly supplied, and they ended up getting having quite a rough time, even if they fought very bravely when they did fight the Japanese, and they fought very well, but they did not succeed at their objectives because they were not adequately supported, particularly with air supply and air cover and various other things, which is really unfortunate because they were really cool, really excellent units. Wavel is he's already leading an infantry corps. That's fine. Who else is good? Who else has got multiple traits? I want more than one trait. Harding, infantry corps. Okay. Well, I think that leaves us with Mountbatten is on a division. Oh, that's a weird glitch. What division is that? There's a naval leader called Mountbatten, and there's a land leader called Mountbatten, and when you click on the land leader, it takes you to the naval leader. I don't know if that's I don't know what's up with that. Whether it just because the name is identical or not. I think they're actually the same leader. I noticed the naval leader doesn't have a photo, and I know that Lord Mountbatten historically was in the Navy and I believe also in the Army. So, but I think it's a bit silly to have him in both, to be perfectly honest, in the game. At least in the way that it's done here. Anyway, he's at the 55th West Lancashire Division, which is probably in the 2nd Army. Maybe. It would be an infantry division. Or it's in the... Must be here. Yeah, that's a real hassle to go and... Yeah, there he is. To go and have to find him. Commando's not a very good trait, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not... Commando, I mean, I use it kind of as a role-playing thing, but it's not the best trait. It gives you a bonus if your unit is low on supply, and you're much better off just not having your unit be low on supply, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's not a bad thing for a breakthrough unit that goes deep into enemy territory. Let's take O'Connor. Good offensive leader. Alright, and we'll put him in charge of this is the 5th Motorized Corps, and I think that's it. I just have to quickly look over the division leaders. Yeah, it can be a good trait if you are, deep in enemy territory and kind of running out of supply that way so that you don't get pushed back right away. But... Oh, some of these units fought in, I think, East Africa, which is kind of cool. So yeah, we do have well, not good leaders, but we have... Oh, there's one. There's an old guard. There we go. I don't think there's anyone in here that really badly needs to be replaced, and we have a whole other army coming out, so all those good leaders will get used. Maybe one thing I'll do, one neat trick you can do if you are, you know, if you sort of don't want to micromanage your leaders, is simply put all of your old guards to at least core level. Just that way, as your divisions come out, you know, it's not the end of the world if you have an old guard at the core level. I mean, it's not great, right? It's not something you want, but it's going to have less of an effect. Like, you don't want a division. I don't want to be using divisions with these, especially because divisions are the units that fight and gain experience and gain skill. So I'd rather have an old guard kind of temporarily filling a slot in a brand new core than have a leader that has like growth potential. So if you just do this, and then you can sort of do the opposite, where we take these high-ranked guys. Of course, we see all the old guards too. That's a hassle. Yeah, I think I've already done it. I don't see any. Yeah, so just make sure that all of your other leaders are 1-star generals, so that as units pop out, they get automatically assigned decent leaders. And that's a pretty good way to do things. I've noticed. I don't know what the you know, technically how this happens, but I noticed that the AI tends to put battle masters on armored divisions, and it tends to put engineers on marines, and it does tend to kind of sort to a certain degree, and it's not bad. You know, if you don't want to micromanage your division level leaders, I mean, it can be a lot of fun to do so, but in a very large army, it starts to get a bit absurd because you've got more divisions than you can kind of keep track of, frankly. So yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's actually make a battle plan and get this rolling. I guess I'll make a new one. I'll hide the invasion of Italy, which also has other stuff on it. Invasion of France. Okay. So, question is, where do we land? And it's a bit tricky because there are a few options. What we want to do is we want to land in a place where we have the potential to cut off. There's two things we want to do, right? We want to cut off we want to surround a substantial amount of the German forces, and then we want to take up a defensible position before we do our next advance. Now, in this whole northwest area of France, there aren't very many good defensible positions, in the sense that there's a lot of open plains and stuff. So there are a few lines that are possible for us to hold. Now keep in mind, you can see that the resistance is feeble, but it won't, depending on how far we're able to get with our fuel supply, depending on, how fast we can move across these plains, at a certain point we will meet a substantial part of the German army, which will be coming from the east. They'll redeploy some of their eastern forces because they're currently, they're pretty balls deep into the Soviet Union, to be honest. So we will see they do have more forces than they need up east for the time being, and we will see them sooner or later. But so there's a few lines we can hold, and maybe I'll just draw them all. There's this line here, something like this, which is reasonably feasible to hold because you've got these kind of woods and hills, and there's the urban tile there, and probably actually more like something like this would be really. It's good to do these. I like to do these battle plans fairly precisely, and then like this. I think I probably wouldn't even bother taking Nantes. That's a very modest goal, and we can sort of take that and wait for reinforcements to arrive, and that might be one good solution. Another good solution would be to push farther, and the obvious answer is to hold this river here, and then hold this river here, and that includes Paris, which is kind of nice to take. So there's that as well, and this could be two steps in the same process. Historically, they landed in Normandy, and they landed where? They landed kind of here, right? And it's not a bad place to land in a certain sense, but probably what will make sense for us is to maybe do one landing there and one landing there and take this line. I don't want to be more ambitious because it's always good to kind of feel things out. Now, in terms of where we advance, it's kind of an interesting thing because, we don't have that many divisions, and we will be getting expeditionary forces from the Commonwealth and the United States and Mexico and all sorts of countries. They're not very good units typically. The American ones are good. The other ones, because of the way the leadership system works in this game, even though Canada's divisions were excellent in World War II, as were Australia's and New Zealand's and the Polish brigades and all of that, they were really some of the best of the Allied troops. But in this game, because of the way leadership works, Canada simply can't research good techs and can't get good infantry because they don't have good doctrines. So they're good as rearguard divisions. They're good to sort of mop things up. And we have to plan for that as Britain. Because we have an army here, we have a substantial part of our army here. Because our army is spread all over the Empire, we are only using one army to do what we're doing here, and we'll have a second army that will come out within the next, say, 6 months or a year, really. And we might be able to crank out a third army, but probably that third army is more likely going to be composed of expeditionary forces. And so really what we want to do is we want to push east as fast as we can. But we also can't afford to kind of leave the south of France and Italy unattended. So we want to use our most powerful force, our most powerful troops. Let's take a little arrow like this, maybe this one. And we want to push, like this is the general direction that the most powerful forces want to move. Right? But we're going to have to take some more minor forces and, maybe hold the line here and then eventually push. If we can do after we advance substantially, if we can try and encircle as many troops as possible, as we go along, the more troops we encircle, at some point we'll have encircled enough troops that there really won't be much in the south, in the sense that they'll rush a line forward and they'll fill every province, and it will be hard for us to spread wide enough to push universally across the front. But as the number of German divisions and German manpower thins out, at a certain point there will be just big gaps in their lines, at which point it doesn't matter, the quality of our troops don't matter, because we can simply push through the gaps in the line, and they'll also get into a serious supply issue too. The sooner that we can push if we can eventually get a line going, say, here, something like this, if we can eventually make it to a line like that, all the while holding in the south, right? At that point, these troops are essentially starting to have supply issues as well, and we would be by that point also pushing in Italy. We don't have very many divisions in Italy, but we will be able to push, and we will be able to land more, essentially expeditionary forces in various places, and the idea at that point would be to have this army kind of come north and meet whatever's going on here, and then we'll leave like 4 divisions here to hold the line, then we'll move everything over here, and then we will have 3 or 4 armies available for the invasion of Germany, and we just want to go as fast as possible, take as much ground as possible. Obviously, we are starting an invasion in late. It's going to look like it's going to be late August 1942, which is honestly a pretty terrible time to be starting an invasion weather-wise and everything, because we're very soon we'll be in the winter. So we may pick one of these sort of modest lines and kind of winter there, depending on how bad the opposition is and how thin we feel we're spread. But next spring it's going to be, spring of 1932, like maybe April of 1943. Sorry, spring of 1943. It'll be just pushing to Berlin as fast as we can. If we can get there by the end of next summer, that's all the better. So that gives you a sense of what the land forces will be doing. It's not a very elaborate plan because we'll just have to see how it goes. I want to also look at air bases, and because right now it's going to take at least a week or two before the Gurkhas get home and we're actually ready to launch this invasion. So this would be a good time to do a little bit of bombing in terms of maybe I think air airbase strikes, runway cratering, sorry, is not a bad idea. And what I'd like to do is maybe... I don't like that one. Let's use the bomb. Let's use the bomb. Let's maybe hit like some of the rear guard bases that we're not likely to take this year, so that it's Germany and not not us that end up spending IC to repair them, and that will also, you know, the idea is we really need to take. There's an airbase there. There's an airbase there. What? Okay, I'm in political map. Okay, airbase there, airbase there, airbase there. Yeah, we need those 3 air bases for us. So bombing them is kind of futile. But yeah, I'm just gonna mark them mostly as a reminder. That's probably not even worth hitting, to be honest. It's too far. Yeah. So we'll focus on those the kind of lowlands and those air bases and try and hit them. I don't want to do any. I don't want to hit any infrastructure because just unfortunately because of the way the supply lines work in this game, it just doesn't make sense. Because again, it's just if you damage the infrastructure, not only do you have to pay to repair it, and you know you also have to have low supply. So yeah. All right. With that in mind, I'm going to actually issue some of those orders. Let's start with maybe Lille. Do an overnight runway cratering. And I just want to double check and make sure that I actually sent back. Okay, they're on their way to where they need to be. Gurkha Corps, first transport fleet. I want to attach this to Army Group France. I just want everything attached in the right place so it's easy to find. There we are, and where's the second transport fleet? Attach you to Army Group France as well. Okay. We don't need all of that, but it's good to land fast. It's good to land fast. What's our convoy situation looking like? Oof, really bad. Okay, I'm gonna have to manually cancel some convoys potentially. Okay, so let's kind of monitor this these strategic bombers, see how many of these bases we can hit. Bombing of Lille, that's probably good. I don't need to hit it again. Yeah, it's been totally leveled. Okay, runway cratering here. Overnight. I should go down and pay attention to what's happening in Asia as well, and I may need to. So that's Antwerpen reduced to rebel. Okay, let's hit Reims. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Ooh. Yeesh. Okay, 12 ships, 22 ships. Whoa, I've got the entire navy. Oh, these are all going home, I think. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Have these guys all got... They've more or less already got orders. What I need to do is... I'm going to try and keep our goals in the Pacific modest, if only because it's going to be very, very difficult to micromanage this while invading France. And we will be able to do some AI control at a certain point, but the AI cannot be trusted to... Wow, we have 22 ships and still a higher... Oh yeah, skill 8. This is excellent. We need to promote Cunningham, I think, at this point to the highest level of general. This is not an engagement that I'm very happy with, though. It's, our kegs are totally tapped out from last episode. Okay, we won. I just really hope we're not losing, We're winning lots of air battles in, Shit. Yeah, we just, see, this is just bad news. Let's just check on the strategic bombers here for a second, and then I really have to pay attention to that. It's a little bit superfluous, to be honest, to be even doing the strategic bombing, but it's not a bad idea. Never a bad idea. Wouldn't be a bad idea either to hit some IC while we're at it. Yep. Jesus. Okay, that's fine. We are definitely... I think we just... Can we get out of... I don't want to flee. We're doing a lot of damage, to be honest. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. Go away. Eesh, that was rough. Oh yeah, I've got the HMS Liverpool, which I never attached into one of these fleets. There you go. Should, yeah, our carriers are fine. It's the CAGs I'm worried about. Like, this is just not, they're no good. They're no good when they're like that. And I don't think we have any right now that are in fighting shape. So we just need to, oof. Yeah, see, that was really, really close. If you lose one, it's a big hassle. I have not built extras, so I don't have any extras to redistribute. Of course, I could recycle some from those shitty escort carriers, but I'd rather not get into that. Just hassle to have less usable ships. Okay, Metz is done. Let's do HOI3. Alright, that's the final motorized division that I wanted. Our officer ratio is at 130 roughly, and we have about 10 points in officers. Okay, you let do that. That's fine. I'll put a little bit extra into officers. Okay. And we're just at this point we're just waiting for the transport fleets to get home. Let's just keep an eye on. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, let's send you back there to guard that port. We're probably going to meet a little bit more resistance over here, to be honest. Let's take you and just go there and there. And then... Okay. That's what I want to do, like that. Okay. And we'll just send the one Marine Corps back there. Gurkha Corps. Yeah, let's take you and just send you to Portsmouth. And then we'll fly the Gurkhas to Portsmouth. They'll get there a little bit quicker than the transports, but that's okay. It is really just a total pleasure to have... no, that's not what I want. What did I do? It's a total pleasure to have 5... Ooh, I'll get that weird glitch. It's a total pleasure to have, like, 5 Gurkha divisions. Wait a second, though. That's a bad idea. Let's fly them to Gibraltar. So they're not flying over enemy territory for the most part, anyway. Take a look at the Strategic Bomber Command. They have not been hit at all. At this point, I'm tempted to actually have them like automatically bomb stuff, to be honest. But I guess we can hit some IC. No, not much point in hitting. Well, that's not really true. We can certainly hit. Let's just hit Dusseldorf again. Dusseldorf is the best target. It's in German territory. It's not, we're not like damaging French IC, which will eventually be our IC. And let's do a 2-night strike there. And as long as we land within, in the next couple weeks, most of those air units will be still in pretty rough shape. I'd like to land with the Gurkhas first. Let's pick which provinces we're going to actually land in. So Terrain map, please. I have a feeling Cagliari is not defended. I don't want to land directly on a port with an infantry division in it, but I do want to take that province. This is not a great place to land overall. There's really no good option here. I think the Gurkhas. I think actually the best thing to do with the Gurkhas would be to split them up, and to wait. I want. Where's the air landing dude? There we go. Come on. Is this like a weird? Oh man, sometimes I'm not gonna do it if it's I'm just gonna like abandon this if it's not gonna work. Yeah, no, okay, I don't know. The battle plan thing is weird. It doesn't always work very well. There's probably something I'm not clicking, and I don't use it that often. It's fun to do it in a let's play like this, but it's ultimately it's not the best. It's not the best thing Paradox ever developed. It's one of their more not as well developed interface things. So what I'd like to do though is split the Gurkhas up and do something like land here, 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 and here. Or possibly just in these two provinces. No, here, here, and here would be good, and then we can push here, and we can kind of push back to this port here. And even if we have to abandon those provinces and take them back, well, the Gurkhas can kind of be there to take those hill provinces. But that'll be useful. And then we can land some infantry very quickly. I mean, we don't have any Marines here. I didn't build extra Marines, which is a bit tacky, to be honest. We should have Marines. It's very improper to not use Marines when doing invasions, but they aren't strictly necessary. I also like the entire army is motorized, so it's just I don't particularly want to take like 2 divisions of Marines from the Pacific and bring them back here. It's just gonna be more hassle than it's worth, considering how like this landing is gonna go very easily. Which, to be honest, and people get very upset when you say this, but D-Day was not all that big a deal. In the sense that, like, the stakes were certainly high, and I don't think you wanted to be the first man out of any of those landing crafts at D-Day. It would not have been fun. But at the end of the day, they were not fighting very strong forces, and after the whatever, they can have it. Yeah, they can totally have that. That's fine. There were some resources there, but it's just not. If anything, it's just costing us a convoy. Oh, okay, that's the Royal Marine Corps. That's fine. You can stay there. Yeah. So if anything, after the first couple days, they did have trouble advancing. The Allies, they did have trouble advancing, and it was tactically difficult. But the scale of the operation, it was very technologically complex as well. But the number of people that died on D-Day was just like a drop in the bucket compared to what was happening every single day on the Eastern Front. So it's interesting. It could have gone a lot worse, and they still would have been successful. Let's put it that way. The Germans, there was really no very slim chances of the Germans pushing them back and preventing them from establishing a beachhead. And once they established a beachhead, there were material advantages in terms of what they were able to produce with the American industrial capacity were just so bloody immense that there was not much hope. Okay, everyone is in position except the Gurkhas, who I abandoned in Gibraltar. That's okay. Let's fly them to Plymouth. I think our subs are still doing their thing. And let's just kind of make sure that all of the transports are in the right... are where they need to be. Okay, there is still the Gurkha Corps. That's probably not a big deal, though. Yeah, no, let's wait till this transport gets back, and then we're ready to go. And maybe I should... I have to split this up, right? Like that. I think that's fine. I think we'll do... Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to do 2 and 3. Ah, fuck it. What's the hotkey? It's, P. Okay. We've kept Romania out of the war completely, by the way. So that's a thing. I want Army Group France, except for the... Ooh, no, I want... I don't care about that. I want you guys to all go there. Yep. Send the transports. I just want them all in the same province. It doesn't particularly matter which one at this point. It would be nice to grab something from the home fleet, get some shore bombardment going on. That's interesting. I have an unnamed ASW squadron. And the second battle fleet, Nelson, oh, that's good. The hood's still around. Awesome. Let's detach this and attach it to Army Group France. And great. That's perfect. You go right there. Or... this, we'll move it after. Nice land doctrine techs all popping out. So we're basically up to date on land doctrine. Central planning I'll just put back in just for kicks. At this point, we basically just want to research everything in terms of doctrines. Have a complete tactical advantage. Which we will. Is that? We're still waiting on a transport fleet, right? Yeah, okay. Can almost do another round of bombing, to be honest. We will. This episode I'm going to make the beachhead. And then next episode I'm going to... I know this has been a very slow-paced Let's Play. I don't really know how to do it any other way, to be honest, except to, like, just edit out a bunch of stuff, you know? And I can, which... You know, I can just show you guys the fun stuff, but it doesn't make sense to me in terms of how this game is played. Okay, that's not good. That's not okay. And this will happen. This will happen again and again. Let's do that. Can they get there on time? Should be fine. Otherwise, we're gonna have a little bit of a challenge. Are there divisions down here? No. Just the one of them is landing on the actual port province. So, all right, no carrier. Should be a cakewalk. Except we need to get them to retreat. It becomes tempting to deal with Japan, and, you know, to just conquer Japan, essentially, but, who else is in decent shape? Cags are still not, okay, let's follow this way, and let's take the 3rd carrier squadron and send it there. I don't want them escaping. There's our light cruiser techs. What's going on here? Do I need to send you back? Is there still a division invading? No. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, yeah, you need to go back there. Yeah, okay, this fleet will get totally destroyed. Because they don't have any air cover, so they're fucked. Oof, our carrier air groups are in really bad shape, though. They should be sent home. Right. Alright, let's do this. It ain't easy as the UK, you know? You gotta... I mean, it's hard to lose as the UK, but it's a lot of you know, coordination to... Oh no. Come on, catch him. I was really hoping that wouldn't go that way. Okay, you go home. And everybody go home. We'll attack them again if they attack us. At this point, we just sunk a lot of Japanese ships right there, so that's fine. That will cut off anything here. Will be cut off from supply, and there's only about 3 divisions there anyway. Okay. Hopefully they won't get stuck attacking into this province. That's plains. Should be fine. Right. Okay. Okay. Now we need to take those transport planes. Let's drop maybe here, here, and here. I like that. Those are okay, airborne assault. No. And then you are gonna do an airborne assault at Saint-Lô. And so this is actually fairly similar to the actual area where there would have been, not too far off from where there actually would have been Allied landings in Normandy. There's the call. Yeah, okay. So as soon as we see those Gurkhas land, we'll do naval landings. I want to take that airbase real fast. Oh, whatever. I gotta look at the text. I might do that off screen. It takes a week for them to suit up and get ready. Ah, there we go. So now, let's take a motorized core. And let's land 1 division there real quick. Let's take another motorized core. It's unfortunate to be using motorized for this. This is not, this is very silly. We'll do a similar thing here. I want you going there. I want you going there. We have to get to that port real fast. We're running out of supply. We're going to need to air supply. Where is... Oh, perfect. It's nice to have these... No, that's a transport plane. We're good. Let's do air supply here. There's no port in Caen, so that's not good. Go grab that port. You guys... No, I just want these two. Move there. I probably should have landed another division there, but that's okay. I think... No, I want the other corps here. I think we might have to do a head-on, just to get the port. And we're going to do kind of a similar thing here. It's completely ludicrous to attack with those motorized divisions, but it will work because they only have garrisons. So those Gurkhas, okay, Falaise is not doing super great. We really need to take that port. Okay, we need to take that port. You attack there. Okay. Just hold your ground. You can attack there. It's not totally ludicrous to land with motorized divisions when we've already got like an advanced group of... I'm actually not going to pursue that attack. Wait till armor gets there before I attack there. But yeah, it wouldn't be ludicrous to land like motorized and armored divisions when there's already some kind of advanced forces. But normally you would use Marines for the first wave. So anyway, make of that what you will. It's more a logistical thing for me, and I, as much as I love using special forces as the UK, it's a bit of a trap to build too many of them because they're not that useful once you actually landed. Right? We got a lot of Italian troops here, but mostly German, and you can see the German line's forming up very quickly. We got to get this army here as quickly as possible. Let's just see how many we can transport. Do we have transports here? Yes. Get some armor there as soon as possible. Oh, we can take one more. Which base? This one. Let's put this battle fleet here. Shore bombardment was a big factor in the D-Day. In D-Day, it was really a non-negligible part of the plan. But as I said, you know, I'm not trying to minimize the importance of D-Day. It's of great symbolic importance for the United States and for Britain and for the Allies in general. It sort of signifies them re-entering the war, re-entering the land war in a much more serious way. But it was very intricately planned. It was very intricately planned, and it was extremely well planned. It was very well done. But I think anyone who knows about what was going on the Eastern Front at the same time has you know, in terms of the casualties and the overall significance of the battle, I don't really think you can compare it to, you know. Mostly, I guess, really what I'm talking about is I mean, of course, it's important. It's important in many ways, and you know, because the war enters a whole new phase as soon as D-Day happens, right? But I guess what... Oh, there's I think a motorcycle in the alley. You probably hear that over my mic. You know, what I think is a bit silly is how it's portrayed in you know, in the media, basically. You know, this desperate struggle to take the beachhead and stuff. I mean, no, it was very, very well planned, and there was very little chance of anything going wrong. I think it's a bit silly to see it any other way, because they were basically fighting, you know, 14-year-old German troops. That Germany didn't have any troops left in 1944. There was wasn't much of there was not much left. So, you know, saving Private Ryan aside, D-Day was a, you know, a remarkable thing, and an important battle, and you know, and you know, heroic in its own right in every way, but it was, there was not much chance that it wasn't going to go well. I mean, the real risk was that a lot of equipment would be lost, and you know, equipment in time, and you know, through terrible weather or bad luck, or you know, they could have, it could have been more difficult, especially in the long run, but I don't even know what let's go into industry here. There we go. Civil nuclear research. What do you research when there's nothing left to research? Nuclear bombs. Is there anything else we oh, mechanical. There we go. We can get computer techs. 1943. I haven't researched computer techs once in the whole game because Britain. This is a really good tech. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially considering how much motorized stuff we have, so that's good to have in advance. And grab an advantage over Japan. I don't know that we need more destroyer techs. Everything else looks good. I'll look over the tech in detail at some point. Let's push here. Wait. It only works if we push there too, and I wanted to support attack there actually. That was a bit of a mistake. That's okay. Also have armor coming down. I should have waited for the armor. But that's okay too. Let's take this guy and move him forward there. Those Gurkhas are going to have trouble holding that, but there are reinforcements on the way. Some pretty good German leaders. Right. So I think we're going to go for this line here, and we're going to encircle. We may encircle something here. I'm not too concerned about. Let's do that. Actually, let's issue that order. So we're going to go like that. Okay, we don't want you moving. I'm going to focus on filling up. What have I got here? Got lots of divisions. 30 divisions. Should also drop down some what I really want to do is let's just spread these along the line for now. I need to put down. Let's get the whole Allied force involved here. Whatever. Yeah. Anything they want to send us, to be honest. The only thing I don't want, I would rather Australia and New Zealand not. They're doing a quite decent job in. Oh, maybe not Norway too. I need them to defend. I want Australia and New Zealand to defend against the Japanese. I don't want them sending stuff over here. Anybody else? Oh, I should take Siam out, obviously. I don't want Siam shipping troops. Realistically, I probably shouldn't bother with these either. They will never have transports. That's fine, though. I just want to make sure I don't have anything in here that's fine. I'll take some out later. Most of those countries don't even have armies anymore. We're having supply issues, for sure. We're also air supplying, which is a very good idea. We should continue to air supply. Air supply is great. Interesting. The Italians built another tiny fleet of destroyers. Right. You can also see a huge amount is being taken off down here. So maybe next episode we will start to push a bit in Italy. Once again, though, don't want to overextend. Do not want to overextend. It might be not a bad idea to try and get Italy to surrender, though, and get these forces joined up. Like, we've got a lot of ground to cover here, right? Like, we really have to close that gap sooner or later. Try and defend here. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. I'm going to polish this up, and then we're going to end this episode, because, yeah. Like I said, I realize it's a slow-paced Let's Play, and like I said, I just, that's the nature of this game. I could go a little bit faster. I could go a little bit faster and pay a little bit less attention, but I like talking about stuff, and I like, you know, let's do this and this, and we're gonna push, these guys can go there. This point, that's fine. Okay, we're getting attacked from both sides, typical. You can push there. Interesting. And I think you might as well push there, actually. Now that they are essentially deorging themselves by attacking me, they're screwed. So that's just 4 divisions. Let's take a look at... Okay, first of all, we'll get our tactical bombers going soon. And let's send these guys to... For the time being, I'm just going to go regional mode there, and I'm going to just select all these provinces, and we're going to try and make sure that we have air superiority, or, you know, defensive air superiority anyway over over that area. Once we get our supply trains going here, once we're still having supply issues. Once we get that going, we will be really unstoppable in terms of, you know, this army is far more motorized than what we'll be encountering. Let's. I want to take a look at German manpower. 803. There, we have higher manpower than Germany. Italy is probably not in great shape either. Oh fuck. Yeah, see, I needed to pay attention here. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, what happened is I attacked into... They've landed a lot. Okay, you stop. What I need to do is just hold a line. There. Is this jungle? No. Let's hold the mountains. I'm going to have to... Probably what I'll do is I'll just send the Gurkhas back here, and we can use them. We can use the Gurkhas for some of this stuff. It's not. This needs to be taken as well. This is bad news. They've got. No, they don't really have a fleet left. That's the thing about Japan, is they don't have a fleet left. Anyway, are we done here? Yeah, we're pretty much done. Just mopping this up. Paulus. Land leaders don't die if they're encircled. Someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm almost positive that naval leaders die, like they disappear from the game if their fleets sink, but land leaders, you just use them elsewhere. I think. Yeah, this is great. We'll grab all these ports. And that's that new army. I'm not even going to deploy that. That's that new army starting to appear. Yeah. Yep. We'll have a whole second. We'll have a, well, I guess, third army or whatever we're going to call it at this point. We'll have a whole other army by. We'll have a whole other army by next spring. We can absolutely. I'm looking at, you know, you can see how quickly they strategically redeploy. It is a thing. We can absolutely fight through the fall and early winter and grab this, no problem. So that's a good goal for next episode. And here we go again with this nonsense. Okay. Well, at this point, I am going to end this episode because I know these episodes are long. I try and get something concrete done in every episode. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like I'm endlessly churning along. But we really did. We are in a very different situation now. We have, you know, we've got troops here. We've got troops there. We are fighting, you know, with middling success in the in the Dutch East Indies against Japan, mostly because of my negligence. There was that battle was going on and I wasn't paying attention to it. I would have stopped that battle if I had seen it. But I let the this Third Marine Division get totally deorged. Doesn't look like strength damage is too bad, but anyway, yeah. So yeah. Next, from now on, we will just be pushing on every front, pretty much. Hopefully, we'll get some nice expeditionary forces soon. Although they tend to come a little bit later. They tend to come more around 33, 43, 44 is what I'm trying to say. Tend to come a little bit later. So we will have to do a little bit of careful fighting and make sure, because you can see how easy it would be to have this entire army be trapped. This is a very early invasion of France, and you can see how easy it would be to have these divisions trapped and out of supply and all that. And I think we need to use our strategic bombers, as effectively as we can. If we do get stuck, we will do some logistical bombing. We will try and really damage the German supply lines. Oh, it looks like there's some cool resistance stuff going on in Poland. I've always wanted to, as the UK, do what they did historically and click this button, but fund underground resistances and stuff using my IC, but I don't know. Sometime it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to try. It'd be interesting thing to try. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you're enjoying the series. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll be back next week. Ciao.